Africa is poor, Africa is poor, Africa is poor. That is what we have been hearing on Western mainstream media throughout ages. Always portray Africa as a very poor continent. A continent where nothing good is coming out of the continent. But they always want to be friends with that country. Whenever those countries say, okay, fine, we are poor, leave us alone. We don't want to be friends with you. They don't want to. Why will someone who is rich try to become friends with a poor man? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, the reason why Africa is poor is because African resources have constantly been stolen by the Western world. The wealth they enjoy in Europe and America is actually a wealth of Africa. And how are they able to steal Africa's resources? African resources is being stolen through democracy. Why do I say so? Democracy recruits criminals and give them the power to lead. And when a criminal leads, what will happen? The Western world and outside world will come over and fool them. They use one system whereby they are using the IMF and the World Bank to steal from Africa. The IMF and the World Bank will come to African country and force them to take loans. They will give out that loans in US dollars, but you cannot repay that loan in your own currency. You are going to only repay that loan with your natural resources. Do you understand? Imagine America will just go into the printing press and print US dollar, bring it to Africans as loan, but we cannot pay with our own currency that we print. Rather, we will pay with our natural resources. That is 419. That is a scam. That is the highest Yahoo you can ever imagine. Do you understand? So Africa is poor because the West are stealing our resources through democracy, the IMF and the World Bank. Look at what is happening in France after being kicked out by the so-called poor Africans. Mind you, France have more than 14 colonies in Africa where they have choked their economies. They are stealing more than $50 billion every year out of Africa. Now, just 3 kick them out. The 3 that kick them out is mainly Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. And look at how collapsed France is at the moment. Mind you, only 3 kick them out. So, I want you to understand that nothing is being said by the West about Africa that is true. Africa is the most wealthiest continent on earth. And Europeans are the criminals who are looting our resources and yet still blaming us that we are poor.